What's up, gangsters? Welcome to your 49th Android tutorial for the new Boston, again with me, Travis. What we're going to do in this tutorial is work within our opened class and also our our data class as well, kind of get the basic setup for our start intent for result for the most part, start activity for result. So what we're going to do basically first is set up a new variable, or set up these radio buttons to do something. Sorry, I was reading something on my other computer, so sorry if I was kind of sidetracked there. But what we're going to do is basically set up a string variable. So we'll call this string, or we're going to set up a new variable above our class, and we're going to say send data. That's what we're going to call this. So we're going to set send data up within our switch case down here. We're going to say these are kind of the answers for the most part. Did we set up an answers? Not positive. No. Alright. So we're going to say send data, and we're going to say if it's crazy, we're going to say probably right. In quotations, copy, paste, definitely right. And both will say spot on. I don't know. I hear a lot of British people say spot on. I think that's what they're saying. I don't know. But that's what we're going to roll with. So there we go. We basically set up our new text variable. And all we're going to do is set up our text view that we set up here, I believe. Yeah, test. And that's the text view below all of our radio buttons in our radio group. We're going to do that outside of our switching case, so we're just going to say test.setText. This is just to make sure our radio button's working, and we're going to set it to our send data. So there we go. Basically, as you can see, here's our switching case, but we're still within our on-check change listener right here. So basically it's going to go through the switching case, set this data up according to which radio button's pressed, and then it's going to break the switch statement, and it's going to call this method where it's going to change the test text. So there we go. We basically set that up, and now we're going to set up our just kind of messing around as well. We're going to set up our start activity for result. So how we're going to do that is basically we're going to set up an intent, and well, first let's use the method start activity for result. We're going to say I because that's what we're going to label our intent, and now all we have to do is basically start our activity for result, and we also have to set 0 as well. This is just kind of a default value that the start activity for result takes in. As we used in the previous tutorial, I believe we set up a variable and we set that variable equal to 0. Basically, just you can also use 0. It's just kind of a default, no biggie. And then we're going to set up an intent, obviously. So we're going to call this intent I. We're going to set it equal to basically, again, the same way we set up our last activity for the most part. So we're going to say, or yeah, our last tutorial, I believe it was. So we're going to say intent I equals new intent. I'm just going to copy this line here, and again it gives it the context of this class and what class it wants to open, so it kind of has a reference. And then anytime we use this start activity for result, we need to import that method basically on activity result. So I'm just going to right click again, go to source, override implement methods, and this comes from our activity class. So we're going to say on activity result right here. Again, it takes in 2 integers and an intent. I'll break this down more as we use this method, but basically we've set this method up now, and that's pretty much the end of the tutorial. Again, I'm just going to make sure those radio buttons work, and there we go. Again, I'll explain that a little bit more in the next tutorial when we work with the actual passing the data and getting the result data, but we're going to go through the start activity for now. And as you can see, this test changes with each click of the radio button, and it's pretty amazing for the most part. So I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Have a good one. Peace.